Entertain me.
Hi.
Hello, Reborn. Go ahead and put that on. Actually, I should probably just have it in the background. Because I know we're not going to hear the music for just a second. Oop. I also forgot to make him not pink. I realized that as I was pressing the buttons. Yes. No longer pink, right? But hello, Reborn. Thanks so much for the 52 months. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day and are having a good existence. Yeah, as best as an existence can be, at least. Look, just remember, it could always be worse. Your existence could be a leaf. Flying around with no choice. Probably be eaten by a squirrel. Who knows? I don't know what eats leaves. Probably a lot of things. My dogs eat leaves. And one of them got pretty sick from eating grass for some reason. Of course, I've heard they do that when they don't feel good and they just want it out of their stomach, which, fair. Like, when you're sick, you just feel like, if I just get this out of me, I'll instantly feel better. But I'm glad you're excited for a classic Brilly stream. It is more or less a classic. Like, most of the bigger ones did start with Ace Attorney. Small thing, speaking of, I went to my YouTube thing and I saw that I had put all of the different ones in different playlists. So now they're all in one playlist. Not that it matters. Because, like, I doubt anyone's really used a playlist for those. But they're there, if you need them. Dang it. Stupid thing goes on wait if I just sit here. If you want to see the VODs, there they are. I should really do something with this chat box. Like, you can't read that. I can't read that. Doesn't help that it wants to snap to the box. Oh well, who cares? Whoops. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, to recap what we were doing last time, this is now in the present, I think. I think we're finally out of Flashback City, and we're in the present where there was a bomb in courtroom number 4, and I do think, and therefore I am an attorney. Kinda bugs me that I know it's, Phoenix's game, Phoenix Wrights game, but kind of bugs me that Athena's not on there at all. Like, he could at least have Widget on there, you know? Have Widget, like, in one of the O's, well, the only O. That'd be fun. And hello, Gum. Hope you're having a good day. But there was a bomb. Apollo got hurt protecting Athena from said bomb. For some reason, Junie got arrested for it. Like, going through that whole segment with Junie and her courtroom case, them suspecting her of the bomb made even less sense. Oh, I got cleared of being, suspected as the one who killed my teacher. I better blow up the courtroom, and ruin my school life again. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That motive makes sense. That's probably why Blackwell did not show up for it. For the false charges. I don't know. When I see a high schooler, I don't usually think they'll set up a bomb over something like that. It was technically false charges. They did just assume that it had to be her. Because something female voice. But after the whole bomb segment, Apollo decided to leave Wright Court because of something. They didn't specify, but he has a coat now and he has an eye patch. Or at least he has wrappings over his eye. And everyone is upset. And now we're going to start the cosmic turnabout. Whether or not we end up being in the present or the past is still up in the air. Yep. Also, we start on the trial, which is always fun. Yeah, the courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. What are you talking about? Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution, of sorts. That's right, I'm here. It was me. Ted Tenate was discovered to be the one who was responsible for the bombing. I thought I was gonna say incident. I guess we get our own recap. If only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think. That there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it. Yeah, Apollo also said he was going to meet a friend, but we didn't... Is this going to be the one that was taking place during the bombing? I thought it would be during hers, which is why they accused her, but... that didn't happen. Space! Instead, we're going to space?
1 hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Uh-huh.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
And we're not ready anymore.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Emergency. Someone set us up the bomb. As we sent signal. Oh, the classic terror music. Are they okay? Oh no, they're not okay. Didn't notice the knife. I'm glad I didn't fall on it. December 16, 9 a.m. Time for another trial to begin. But this one's different. Sorry to bother you, but... yeah, I knew. You. I don't think this is the final case. But hello, Trono.
Oh, no.
So she is here. Are you alright, Apollo? Ah, was I making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. I was just doing my Chords of Steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go. We're still in the past. Please don't stab me, past, present, or future. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Is this lotus root? I was gonna go with banana. That's right. My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She lied to me. She even said if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. Does this explain why the thing after this was the future? It's for good luck. Maybe you can, later you can cook it and... thanks for this. I'm gonna have some right now. Oh my. Kinda tough though. You can't eat it raw. But thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oops. Didn't think me weird before, she will now. I gotta calm down. Apollo, sorry I'm late. Hi, Athena. Ugh, Junie. I didn't know you were coming today. She looks so dismissive despite her enthusiasm. Did you come to cheer on cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it, you sly little thing, you. Athena, stop. Quit kidding around, Athena. Trial's about to start any second. Is everything set? Oh, Apollo, when will you ever figure it out? Nothing is ever set up. We're always going to fly by the skin of our boots. Figure out what? That was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Why does he instantly remind me of Larry? It's not Larry, is it? This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Alright, it's not Larry. It's instead the Starbucks. It's Space Larry. He's just like Larry, in space. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. Are there famous astronauts anymore? You wouldn't know right now, but he's usually very upbeat and a driven person. Usually, gives people thumbs up, makes statues that are actually clocks. The usual. The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. And he never came up until now. But that's where I met Mr. Starbuck. He asked about space travel and he launched into a story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. That's what I've said about the last few people that committed murder. Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now. Now I'm still in this space. Now I'm just wasting space. Hey, he's so depressed it almost seems like an act. Launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again on account of the rocket exploding. Don't say that, don't stop believing. Besides, you have to go into space again. Yeah, I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay Turan. Can't believe he was murdered. I can't either. Look at that face. That's like main character face. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. I'm probably Apollo's friend. Yeah, he was a good guy. He always there to pick me up when I was down. He always drove me to the station. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. Too bad life didn't return the feeling. Death, on the other hand, he was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? Never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Usually because he's in space, which is quite up. Clay's gone and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Then you get arrested for arson, Mr. Starbucks. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. Yeah, what is it? What's with the yelling? I didn't realize he was yelling. I'll get to the bottom of this today, you'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? I mean, you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence. Not a single piece. Oh, well... about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I have liked, thanks to the police. You're welcome! I'm done for. I'm a goner. I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my life making coffee. Everyone thinks I did it. Thought I was gonna soar like a comet. But now I'll just be a comet on a newspaper. I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. Nah, no, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck. Don't count yourself out just yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you gotta keep going. What about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? That's never come up before? Yeah, we need to focus on the trial right now. You all ready to go? Apollo... Trial's about to begin. Defense would please proceed to the courtroom. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna comment, I wish the mannequin guy just opened the door. You know, in the background. Would it be so hard to animate the door opening? They don't have to bring in the bailiff. Just the door should open and then close. Alright, this is it. This is the one trial I can't afford to lose. It'll go off without a hitch. Or boom. Or bang. For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer. Courtroom number 4. All rise. Court's now in session. There's Blackwell. I wonder if he gets hurt, and that's why he's not in the next one. Timeline-wise. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. Defense is ready, Your Honor? Why is he already wounded? Why does he have the eye patch thing? Did I miss something? Defense is half ready, Your Honor. I can see the truth. Excuse me, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor? What happened to your eye? It's not important. I'm fine. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? I don't... I'm fine, Your Honor. Defense is ready. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. Keeps insisting it's just a sty. I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. I've already passed that age, Your Honor. Very well. Prosecution? Prosecution appears to be ready as well. Silence. I didn't say I was ready. Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. That's a first. We're off. Right away? Really? Prosecution. Now ready. Doc is here. Well, it didn't take him long this time. Yeah, what's up with Blackwell? Says the one wearing an eye patch. And now then, I shall give the opening statement. Yeah, they should probably reinforce them. I'll do it. You will? What an unexpected surprise. This time I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today. Both seem different somehow. A little sturdier. A little like, you know, half tilted already. Hey, well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would. Just yesterday. It was just like it was yesterday, because it was. Crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. Ah, the famous federal research facility, all things related to astrology, right? Astronomy. It's astronomy. Brilly will also pretend he knew that. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to launch site, kaboom. Does he like space? Is that this big crime here? 2 explosive devices were detonated and launch was cancelled. My word, 2 bombs! 2? How dreadful. Defendant today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. Keep wanting to say Grundy, even though I barely know who that is. Whatever inane reason he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck, I recognize that name. Is that the famous astronaut? Correct, your baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. You may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. Suppose you could say he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? That's his hair? Mankind's hope for the future. I gotta make it back alive. A Hat 1 miracle. I can't read the text under his text. They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. Alright, well now we know he's not really Space Larry. Larry wouldn't be in a movie. Unless he was posing as a tree. We got a real space pioneer in court today. Huh. Even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Turn to the subject at hand. Ah, yes. The victim was one Mr. Clay Turan, a subordinate of the defendant. Indeed. Loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death was a result of the bombing? Correct. By his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. And so he was not sent into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see. Disneyland? Clay. I think I've heard enough. Case seemed to be pretty clear-cut at this point, except I don't know how he was murdered, where he was murdered, or why he was murdered. However, there's one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. Seems very ominous, you know. What purpose does it serve exactly? Since you ask so nicely, it's your coffin. What? Have mercy on me. I'm just kidding. I jest. It's evidence. Due to its immense size, we have little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We get to the contents of the box in due time. Come along to a captivating space odyssey. I'll take your breath away. A moving and thrilling documentary in 3D. Thanks, Reborn. I assume that's what the text said. But also, ugh. I don't want to go to 3D space. I'll get nauseous. Phew. Feel like I lost 50 years off my life. That puts me at 210. Does he even have 50 years left? Athena, please. He can hear you. Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. Enough jabbering. Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. Ah, Detective Fulbright. You're back. Very well then. Please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would. On it! First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout in the Space Center. Can I say Space Center one more time? This looks familiar. Ah, here we are. For a more detailed look on what's on the left side of this building. That is pretty detailed. Take a look at this cross-section that we, the police, have created. See the launch pad of the main building. The launch pad's a square building, and the rounded structure is the main building, right? You got it! The incident took place in a launch pad 1 in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. I'll make it easier to understand. That's the only thing I have? Oh, wait, no, I got the autopsy, too. I hope it's not going to be updated. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building. And one in Launch Pad 1. Thankfully, only 2 astronauts were in Launch Pad 1 at the time. And you're suspecting them? Why? The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. Right on top of a bombing. Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived on the lounge, correct? Yep. Thinking he'd sabotaged the bombing, the defendant attacked and killed the victim. Just look at this tragic photo. Oh my, is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, Your Honor. It's the knife that cruelly ended the young man's dreams. He's also missing a glove and his helmet. Well, I guess they might have taken the helmet off during the thing, even though that'd be messing with evidence. We couldn't get any prints off it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. Uh-huh. By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photograph? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. Yeah. I personally removed his glove during the investigation, with my gloves. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Yeah, true. There's one thing I'd like to inquire about. Why is this round thing next to the victim in this photo? Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped to the launch pad. Capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. I see. Though we know the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. Where was the bomb that was in the launch pad 1 located? Heh, that one was on the rocket itself. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram and report into the record. Okay. Trials just started and we're already in a bind. Yeah, you get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination's for, right? What the 2 astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key. Oh, they actually updated the cross-examination thing. Boom! Boom! Mm-hmm. You sure it was only the 2 of them? It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those 2. That has nothing to do with it. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket. Silence. Notion of a third-party launch pad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. Fingerprint recognition device sounds as futuristic and complex as a space center. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photograph. Every time I do, I scan my fingers. This is the door in the lounge with a fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. Is there any record of the number of people that passed through that door yesterday? Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. Doesn't that mean it's possible that the director's the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, doing his job directing the launch. Besides, having an alibi is no motive for committing these senseless acts. He has a point. Guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. I mean, he could have been the one to set up the bomb. We don't know when that was. But also, hey, my random pressing got me new evidence. So while it appeared that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? You got it! In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time, if you'd been listening. If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing. Is there any chance Mr. Turan could have been killed before he boarded the rocket? They were both alive and well at the boarding time and embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams and space, and now one of them is full of sharp metal and death. And then both their hopes and dreams were dashed, or stabbed. If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. Well, we know that's not true, but, you know, no one in the universe knows that. And he was the first to find the victim. Actually, there were 2 of them! Space Center Director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. Well, we know what's gonna happen to her. One of them was a detective. Yep, Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see, unlike me. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions. They were all also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant. Although he was, you know, wearing his arm and hat. 2 witnesses, huh? One of them's the detective. Doubt either would have anything to say that would help me. It's like he's trying to give us as little information as possible. Maybe Prosecutor Blackwood's got his tongue. Well, don't let that hold you back. Keep pressing until we got what we need. So I guess there's something else I need to find. How powerful were the explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down, but the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation, even though I wasn't the detective there. Why were they there? Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? Ah, ha ha! I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there whenever and whenever people need my help. I'd go to the other side of the world, or even to the edge of the universe. I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. I'm not sure I know exactly how far that is. I wonder if they just layered the cloth over his usual model. Because you can kind of see the sweat marks disappearing. And then just continuing down his face. But I guess I'll leave that one alone. Yeah, it definitely was not an answer. Admirable decision, Justice Dono. Huh? What did he decide? Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time? The bomb cut the power to the central bank of the elevators and the third floor lounge. Cut the power to the central bank of elevators, huh? Hello, Sivia. Hope you're having a good day. It was pitch black in there, I tell you, and I tell you, I was there! I was the brightest thing in the room! However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on an emergency backup. How'd the evacuation go? I immediately and heroically whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. And a basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. Emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. Even though people died in the other part of the gram. The Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Hooray! More evidence. Power outage evacuations seem unrelated to the murder at this point. Guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct? Yep, that's right. Okay, I don't think I pressed this one. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives? Huh? What are you talking about? If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he get caught in the explosion as well. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. What? Didn't Blackwell point that out? Fine. Simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive. Understood! The defendant actually had an astrophobia. What? Astrophobia? What's that? A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up. What? Did we get a doctor to diagnose that? Because that guy loves space. And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. That's absurd. Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What are they? These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears. There was a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago. Rumor has it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck. Objection? That doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship. I feel like that'd be more traumatic. Defendant couldn't bear Damar's good name now, could he? No, not after the media had branded him Soul Starbuck Space Pioneer Extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally, he constructed his act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center. By almost killing himself. Which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. What? Ugh. Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on the atrocious criminal. I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. He was taking anti-anxiety medication, so he set up a bomb. I'm glad I threw mine away. I didn't have any, so don't worry. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. Don't know why I thought it said farmer. Yeah, when the explosion happened, it sent the rocket right onto the farm. Now Mr. Clay's in a farm far, far away. That's the truth, and only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime. If that's the truth. What little I could get out of him only hurt my case. Justice Dono. Foolish is the war you rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you take a gander at this. What is it? It's a new hit single. I don't remember who was making music around 2013, so I can't make a joke. We'll just assume it's the Black Eyed Peas. Footage from a security camera. 2 astronauts emerge from the bowels of Launch Pad 1 corridor. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. I don't know. Is that a knife in him? No, I think that's just a big zipper. Now to direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering, which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. What? What? How would you know? They're wearing the same outfit. Also, why would he pull the lifeless body of the victim out of the burning rocket if he killed the guy? You know? Like, if I killed the guy on a burning, explodified rocket, I'd just leave him there. Be like, no, I tried to save him, but I couldn't find him. Order! Order, I say. This lines up exactly with what the prosecution's been asserting. I should have known Blackville would have something like this ready. Can I prove it's real? Also, what did we watch that on? I mean, Athena's here, so she could play it, but... maybe. Does her digital device have a CD player? Apollo, how exactly determine that Clay was already gone in that footage? I don't know. Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at that point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at this footage. What rhymes with age? Yeah, but where is it? Like, we've watched a lot of things, but where is it? Is it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him? Well, I believe you're right. One man carrying another to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence.
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dotard. It only makes sense that it's the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright, explain to Justice Dono. I'm lazy. You got it, ready, kid? They wheel in a TV in a cart like in school. We were just in school. They wheeled in a chalkboard last time. If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge, after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of a different color. It's green.
Objection.
Can you deny there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge? You can't deny. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out. And also, hello, OP. Hope you're having a good day.
Silence.
Silence. Your assertion based on emotion. Based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. Yeah, and your assertion is based on your own emotion. It's based entirely on wanting to throw someone in jail. Right? You have no logical explanation as to why the victim would still be alive. Could still be alive. He's not stabbed. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking sound logic. This entire courtroom's lacking sound logic. Sounded perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, you have no further objections. I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? I got plenty of those. Hold it! Athena to the rescue. Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. What is it, Athena? It's just something that's been bothering me. Is the defense stalling for time as always? What bluff will you come up with next? Well, clearly Mr. Phoenix Wright was on board, and he arose from the flames of the rocket. And through that, we can definitely assume that there was a third person on the rocket, right? Very well, I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Yes! It's a centimeter. That's a measurement, right? Alright, continue on, your baldness. You have 5 seconds. Dang it. 5 seconds? After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed, even though that's not my job, and a verdict to be rendered. Your baldness, raise your gavel high. Time for a countdown. Oh! Oh! Ready? We have time. Spit it out, Athena. Only 3 more seconds. Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain. Something they didn't explain. Ah, you're right. I think I know what you're talking about. 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. Something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court. Well, if you put it that way. What is the prosecution has failed to explain? Why the body was moved. There we go. I already called it. They failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. The defendant wanted to kill the victim. Why didn't he just leave his body in the burning rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body, but what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Ah! Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue. Inform exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. Huh? You gotta be joking. It's simple, Mr. Starbuck did what he had to do to direct suspicion away from himself. That's conjecture, and also what? He wanted to create the impression that he heroically risked his life to save his partner, and so he stabbed him in the chest. That's why he made sure to make it to the security why he made sure to make it to the security camera, so there'd be a record. At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story fit for the silver screen. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story. You see, yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yeah, now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion. Objection. What are you talking about? There was no third explosion. Indeed, you are correct. That's thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. Steel coffin beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. We use that to transport the deactivated bomb here. I sure hope there's no, body in there instead. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. Guilty. What? One on the second floor in the main building, one in the launch pad, and one in the lounge. Defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not, the victim's body and the other vital evidence would surely have been immolated. Along with, you know, the unconscious body of our defendant. But we'll ignore that part. Yeah! Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. It's like you're reading my mind, even though I didn't think of anything. And Taka bringing him his messages is pretty great. We are out of flashbacks now. Just kidding. This is also a flashback, Mimikyu. This is, in fact, right before the beginning of the game. So, you know, just be confused about that. The bomb is here. The bomb has been set up. As it's still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Specifically a bomb detonation switch, which conveniently was missing. Huh. Shouldn't we have known it was missing then? In the previous... whatever. You found what? I thought that too, Mimikyu, but apparently not. It's just hurt now. We don't know why. Or I don't know why. Several people know why, but I don't. I'm not one of them. I suspect that the event had no time to destroy such a dang device. When the Space Center director, Detective Arms, stumbled across the murder, even though he was unconscious at the scene. So he thought to hide it in his pocket, which would immediately be searched. Feeble brain that he is. No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that. I don't think Apollo would, but I hope that later either Phoenix or Athena just catch one of those and throw it back at him. Justice, don't open your eyes and see the truth. Open your eye and see the truth. Sorry, very insensitive of me. Appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions, unless it was just conveniently planted in his pocket. Now, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it? You still believe in your client, come what may? Why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? It's gotta be a trap. It's like Black was controlling the entire game. Yeah, wait, we're in a game? Seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why do you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. And then making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan, too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now, let's hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself. Maya Fey. Famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. Yes, the little bird does have a matching bandana. He also delivers papers to Blackwell. How did this happen? Mr. Starbuck, you're looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony? No. What? Well, fortunately, no was not an option. I was just asking to be nice. You'll be accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Taran. Please testify to these allegations. He looks like a criminal, though? Well, that's fitting then, Mimikyu, because he actually lives in prison. Despite being in prison, he's still allowed to prosecute cases. But he has... if he acts out, then the wristbands he has will shock him. Yeah, I guess you missed that part. He was delivered from prison to here. The popsicle from ice cream trucks. It's also weird that his head is all pointy there, but on his... I don't think they actually have it. But on that poster for the movie, his hair is like very out there. Mind if I take this suit off? It's getting really heavy. No. Not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Better carry that weight for the rest of your life, however long that is. Yeah, banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore. Ah, that was super negative. he gonna be alright up there? He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. I don't know if there's a shortage of prosecutors. I mean, there's the entire Payne family, apparently. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of that rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down the middle level and headed for the corridor. There is a shortage of good ones, yes. Clay had passed out by the time he got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay, I was trying to save him. Are you certain you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim? I bet you think I'm lying, right? I reserve all judgment till after I've heard your full testimony. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? I'll say when I saw you in that movie. You appeared to be quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy. I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I really don't care what happens anymore. Oh no, he's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. You were to join me in the clink? I imagine that annoying sigh of yours would rub off on me on the other inmates. Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago? Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find the truth. There was a glaring contradiction? I wasn't really listening. Take the elevator down the middle level now for the court. Oh, the elevators were the elevators working? And yeah, let's get a prosecutor from that country. Although it'd be great if Maya showed back up as a prosecutor. Just to taunt Phoenix. Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area? That's right, we always use it to get to and from the cockpit. That makes sense, so he was just using the route he always used. In spite of the fact that there had just been an explosion. Huh? I think Mr. Starbuck is hiding something. Something pretty big. Let's see, did I... Okay, I thought so. I don't know if I should do it, but... Objection! Mr. Starbuck! Need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right. Which means... Yeah. Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unstable. Unusable. Also unstable. In other words, Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. Huh? Where'd I get this helmet? What's with the helmet? Mission Command, do you read me? Come in, please. This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense, answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck. My helmet. My air pipe. My oxygen tank. Oxygen concentration, body temperature declining, requesting medical assistance. Well, that does prove that he has anxiety. Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up.
I apologize, Your Honor. Forgot I was still on Earth.
I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck in The Astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator?
I was nervous I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually, took a different route, I think.
Different route, you think? Hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time.
Heck, I'll get it right this time. Maybe. I mean, probably.
Probably.
Understandable to be nervous. Let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court. Let's see, my escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably, with the capsule and clay in my arms, I, made my way down from the upper level.
What? Are you saying you escaped without using the elevator? That is his hair, I'm pretty sure. In the little poster that shows up, he has, like, hair that goes everywhere, so...
That's right, there's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. Yeah. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we can make our escape that way.
And the capsule you mentioned. I suppose it's the thing next to Mr. Terran here? Is the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you?
It almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With a spacesuit on, clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important.
Need you to answer the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is writing on your testimony.
Maybe I'm guilty after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. Bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship.
Can't really say maybe I'm guilty. You either are or you're not. How could you mistake such a basic fact?
Hey, everybody makes mistakes, but I tried thinking about the vastness of space instead. From Earth, it takes 4 light years to travel to our nearest neighbor and star. And you see, compared to the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant.
I wish you consider it just a little more significant than 0. Enough jabbering. Get on with your testimony.
Maybe. Probably.
Maybe. Probably. Did I hear you right, Mr. Starbuck? Because if I did, there might be another murder here.
I didn't say either of those things. Mission control, come in, please. Errors occur in the sound system. Activate the emergency tin telephone. Tin can telephone. Oh no! Tin can telephones are ineffective in the vacuum of space.
Stop this nonsense, or I'll sever you and your tin can telephone.
Alright, I'm begging you. Don't tell the truth. Just don't sever anything. Especially not my aluminum phone.
Apollo, is he gonna be alright? I'm starting to think he's not. It never has been alright.
Oh yeah, let's see, when we were running away,
Upper level of the launch pad area.
Yeah, that's right, that's what I said, isn't it?
Granted, that route does exist, so to recap, you had clay over your right shoulder and the capsule on your left hand? Does that work with the picture? Oh, I don't even have the picture, do I? We have this picture. That would be his right shoulder, right?
Yeah, it's really important, so I couldn't let it get burned up. Even though clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. Huh. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet.
You know what you have to do with that statement, Justice Dono.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. It's time to present some evidence. Mr. Starbuck escaped with clay on the capsule, which means... Just like in the footage, I could see why he couldn't run, though. Must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could have even walked under the circumstances. Walking straight forward is probably all I would have been able to manage.
Which one am I presenting?
Making my way downtown from the upper level. Like, I know what it's wanting me to say, but I don't know which one says it. As usual. You know, the obvious being that that would be really, really hard to do. Do I present this? Is there any actual problem with it? It does say in his arms, and he didn't really answer my question, so I guess it's this? I don't know.
Objection!
It was not that. Back to your personal blah blah blah. If only I could just say words instead of presenting evidence. Let me read this thing again. Try what I said. Well, it does exist. Should I just present the elevator or the picture again? I guess so. The diagram or whatever? The explosions don't matter, so I assume it's the diagram, right? Everyone's suspiciously quiet, enjoying my suffering.
Objection!
Okay, it was the diagram. Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Let's see, Earth is blue. Not really. No, that's not right. There's more green. I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it. Truth, Mr. Starbuck. The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare for emergency oxygen tanks. Mr. Justice, witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Yeah, okay. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as this was along the escape route. The ladder? If there was a ramp or something, that would have been useful. Get down from the upper middle to the middle level where the Launchpad 1 corridor is. You'd have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Yeah, of course. That was the only way we could escape. Objection? How would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? Remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity's only 1/6 of what it is on Earth. Objection, you're not on the moon. Space Center is located on Earth. What? That's news to me. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with that adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say? So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth, now! Not again. Engineer, where's that engineer? Oxygen leak detected due to faulty maintenance. What the? It's flying the coop. Help, I'm caught on the ceiling fan. Help? Anyone? I got it. Bailiff, prepare the cherry picker. Cherry picker? Let's launch our rescue mission at once. That's one way to take off while being questioned. Where did he get the air to go up? I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. I'm back. We really should have let him take off that suit, so he'd stop this nonsense. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yeah, on account of you tied him there. I apologize for losing control. Can you really tell us the truth? Not that. Anything but that. What's going on? This is the Mr. Starbuck I know. Be a space boy is prone to deception. Or he's just really anxious. Witness. Yikes. Yeah? Thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect. Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't talk about that. What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I understand the space boy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why I took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of his anti-anxiety drug were found in the system. Oh? Since things are about to nosedive. Object him. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. Found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it. How could that be? Somebody must have slipped him to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. What? Do anxiety pills make you lose your memory? Order in the court. Can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, it certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anyone to find out he was terrified of going into space. Maybe I really did do it. Brings us to the answer of our original question. How the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. It does? So what is it? The dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Dono. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. If that were true, there'd be signs of the landing. Oh my, I see. The defendant could climb down with his free hand. Objection.
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body would leave marks on the body itself. So you're capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks?
Ah! The bird!
Huh? What's this? The oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be inclining it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am, for they fracture easily when struck. That still fractures bone, wouldn't it? Even if that's true, the tank's explosion in the sharpener will leave its mark on the body. And according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning. Spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of fabric of tomorrow. Fabric of tomorrow that can be easily stabbed with a piece of sharp metal. Fabric was made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. The fall in a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer. Objection? And shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should, and yet through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through the weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to its target. What are the chances? You forget that our killer's an astronaut himself with knowledge of how the suits work. He's got me there, except he doesn't. Just being an astronaut wouldn't mean you know where the weak point is. Now my argument's been proven. Space Boy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped the body on the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. No room for debate about these facts. Clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Here, the report regarding the astronauts' oxygen tanks. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx.
Ah!
Add to the court record. Did he just throw it at me and then cut it in half? Victim's tank was ruptured with 0% left. The defendants had 80%. Remaining oxygen is displayed on the left shoulder. Okay, then we know that that is a lie. Yeah, this report is pretty detailed. Let's see, the display on the oxygen's shoulder shows how much oxygen remains. Guess that means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen remaining.
I'm done for. I'm going to prison instead of space.
Space boy?
Yeah.
Takeoff. The jewel in that sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bars.
You mean the stars are seen from prison?
That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through iron bars. Like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time.
That's not half bad thought.
Mr. Starbuck, Prosecutor Blackville got to him good.
Spaceship prison cell, fly me, my guilt and my despair to the deepest, darkest space. And then let's get sucked in the black hole together.
Objection. Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope.
Oh. Yeah, Apollo. Yes, Apollo.
You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. Said you never give up on your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation.
He said that.
Don't give up now and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you. Clay Terran.
For Clay.
You're wasting your breath.
Rah! Rah! Ta-da! Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now. The stars are gone. I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission.
Kinda wish his hair changed. Right, we'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. After that, we'll get you back into space.
Ah! You ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm fire! I'm Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. No time to be whimpering and crying. Can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash. The sun, the moon, all of space is calling to me, Solomon Soul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Well, feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch.
I'm glad the judge always plays along, you know? If we ever see Junie, I hope she's the same way.
Apollo, you did it. You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. I can't take the credit. It's all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through.
You simpletons are done massaging one another's egos. No matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness?
Yeah, can't let up now. Have to stop Blackwell. Have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just have to make it back into the space.
Oh. Wait, when did they meet? He has his bracelet there.
Won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. Gotta destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think. Only people at the Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck. And if Clay was already dead by the time the footage was taken, the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. The only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. Which I already did. Now let's see. About this data we just received. Supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. I'm gonna prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Enough of this farce, your baldness. Let's have your verdict. Objection. Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now, which really you should have submitted right away. It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining while Mr. Terran's had 0. Can you stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course. Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You'll explain what you mean, Justice Dono? It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of the case. Take a look here at this detailed description, you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to... How does evidence present a contradiction? Problem is this part here. Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Terran. Appears to say 50. Yeah, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. Oxygen tank increased. I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. Bad enough that there's a contradiction. The increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here? I too find out the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase, which they better. What does that prove? Doesn't change the fact that the defendant carrying the victim's corpse. What? Yeah, it does. Heh. I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Rude. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it. In that case, you have an answer to this riddle of a mysteriously increased oxygen. Better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as a mere equipment malfunction. Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Convenient though that would be. Mr. Justice, if you cannot prove an adequate counter-argument to this point, then I must bring this trial to an end. You think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Yeah, of course I can. Thing to do at a time like this is to turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. This man with the 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, displaying the oxygen tank should show an 80.
Clear contradiction between the report and security footage. What I should be asking is not why the oxygen level increased, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased. I'm making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here? Blah blah blah?
Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting.
Yeah, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. What if this is the other way around?
The other way around? Would I care to explain?
As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. As it turns out, this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Tarrant, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Tarrant at all. It was Mr. Tarrant who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge.
It was what?
Took us forever to get here.
Mr. Justice, you mean to tell me that the person on the right is the image of the victim, Clay Tarrant?
It's the only way the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. When the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right, there's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means that Mr. Tarrant was alive as they made their escape to the lounge. How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full? Prosecutor Blackquill, you can't hurt me with your broken blade. Excuse me? The only thing I break is my shackles, constantly. It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. Suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Tarrant was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims. It opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. Ah! There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene. But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see, the other two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? Weird that we don't have a picture of Yuri. Think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yeah, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging.
You don't have to hear the testimony of these first two people on the scene.
Score!
Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now.
Well, she technically is in court. She might have a bit of a cough, though.
Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand?
Uh-huh. I don't even remember this guy's voice. Oh yeah, he spoke like a robot on his little armband.
I have an announcement, everyone. What is the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here.
Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone's reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode.
Explode?
A bomb now. Everybody run! I don't want to die. Oh no, everyone's panicking. Silence. Headless chickens with a death wish, a lot of you. Calm yourselves before all else. Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. What about Mr. Starbuck's dream? Who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not gonna letting some bomb blow up the truth forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way. Hey, ouch. Let me go. Apollo, the truth isn't gonna go anywhere. Apollo? Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet? Juniper, are you alright? Apollo? No, not that way. Do we get to see the scene again of everyone running? To be continued.
Right now.
And now it's me. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. You know, all that other stuff that happened. This one destroyed the courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Really stuttered out that sentence. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. For some reason. Ta-da! Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. Well, we managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tenate. Where did he get the coat? Like, now we know that's Clay's coat, I guess, but he wasn't wearing that in the trial. But he had it on during the bomb? Right? Anything agency. Apollo's a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy, being attacked by Tonate like that on top of all this other injuries. It's not from the bombing. Okay. Apollo's resting in a nearby Hickfield clinic. Yeah, we're finally out of Flashback City! I've had some experience with that place myself. More than I'd like to remember. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in the hospital of all places. Oh yeah, I vaguely recall that. Hi, I'm here. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry, he's young. You have Athena to tease too. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Personally, I had a blast. Alright, enough of this, people. No time to be moping around. Now dry those eyes, both of you. You're the only one who's crying, Athena. You're dry as sandpaper over here. Technicalities. Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Take over what exactly? I'm already the boss. Apollo Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. What is this we, Trucy? We have to avenge our fallen comrade, right, Daddy? Apollo isn't exactly fallen. I mean, he fell down. He's still alive, you know. Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. We gotta run. What? Right now? We better not be running the whole way. I have a bike. There she goes. I better catch up. You take care of the office, Trucy. Sure thing. Let's be careful out there. What is this us? In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill up my magic for you. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. I better not find surprises in those cookies. You always count on Athena to perk everyone up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back! Don't mind me, I just forgot a few things, such as where the heck I'm going. Wallet, phone, documents, my bag, widget, Mark II. Sounds more like you forgot everything. And always count on Athena for that too. Alright, you two, let's be careful out there. What is this us? What is this let's be careful? You're staying here. Oh well, still part of the group, I guess. But we're finally Mr. Phoenix Wright. For real this time. When's the last time we were investigating as him? Our client's one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous even I've heard of him. And I haven't heard of anyone. I didn't even know who the Steel Samurai was. That's right, he's a super famous astronaut who works for the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. I even know quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. Well, yeah, I was in his case like 5 minutes ago. I'm back to this. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard.
Apollo told me about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right?
Yeah, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. He's gonna just call me boss.
Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered.
Hearing Phoenix's inner monologues is also, nostalgic in a way.
You're, the new kid Apollo told me about. Wait! Don't I know you from somewhere?
Huh? You mean... other than at your trial? I don't think so.
I guess so. My mistake. I thought I saw you in space. My memory isn't what it used to be, on account of all the drugs. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. 3 bombs in one day. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter a stratosphere without a spacecraft.
Yikes, he's seriously got to stop depressing himself, and me.
Yeah, I could use an espresso that doesn't go straight to jail. It'd have to be really OP though, I think. Oh, hello, Phoenix. Hope you're having a good day.
Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like a shooting stars, right?
Like shooting stars, huh? You're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, it's what we're all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. And burn up in space. And evaporate and turn to stardust. Becoming just little specks in the universe that no one will ever notice or care about ever again.
I guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Thanks, Phoenix.
Oh yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want.
Is that really all it takes? Alright. Done weirder things to make people feel better. So you have no memory of all of the incident?
I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and cloudless as a dark nebula. Or a cup of coffee. Deeper and darker than hell itself.
Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial?
You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. Never took any medication, I swear. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having fear of space is not something an astronaut could brag about, you know.
Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle? Must have been a terrifying experience. I've had my experience with hats.
But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. A launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than a theory of relativity.
Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of an astronaut I know. Of the astronaut I know. Phoenix, you just met the guy. But the tranquilizers were found in your system.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know why. I'm done for.
If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you.
Exactly, that's what I thought. Must have been a real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anyone could have gotten their hands on it.
It's not locked? That's the point of a locker. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed.
I'll say. They even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. How'd they do that? It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Wait, if his prints are on it, that kind of proves he didn't do it, really. Because he would have detonated it with his gloves on. You remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like, how about the murder weapon, for example?
A knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits.
Utility kits?
Yeah, staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits for use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you can prove whose knife it is.
Do you have a kit? As I recall, your last trip to space was 7 years ago, right?
That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. It blew up. I died once. No, wait, that was now.
You did? What kind of problems?
Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. I lost my stuffed animal in space. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it back somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer.
No wonder they dubbed it a Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back.
Yeah, space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. Yeah, but the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. I mean, my trial's probably important now, but come next game, the Doctor's goes on and on forever and ever, without end.
It's technically not true. Eventually you find a sun. There's always a little bit of light at the end of the darkness.
There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come and save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and the heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make the repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking.
An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. I'm afraid just listening to it. Oop. They really went all out on that sound bit. The experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission?
What? No way! Of course not! Even now I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around weightless.
Same. Relatable. They have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a little, like, teeny bit afraid?
Of course I was. I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. Space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. Several, in fact. Cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere.
Cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life.
No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight.
That's a good line. I should write that down for my agency. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Tarrant. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if that's how you say it. It wasn't exactly a big exaggerated deal like master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor.
The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. I'd say that's me and Apollo, but he hasn't really done anything. I didn't really teach him anything either.
With this encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. For now.
They must have been very encouraging, huh?
Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything was gonna be just fine.
You're fine. Apollo says I'm fine and you're fine all the time, too. I always feel encouraged, too, whenever I hear him shout it, at the top of his lungs, rupturing my eardrums.
Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. I know this. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot ever since they were high school kids. One day out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hang around the Space Center so much they were like a part of the staff. Weird how he never came up before. One time during Zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. The two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine," over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear.
So I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? Wasn't really secret. They told it to everybody. I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Probably jumped.
Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine.
But he actually did climb down that ladder. So a way has to exist. And he could have thrown the jar, he could have just jumped down himself, landed on his shoulder. Which is why the thing got ruptured.
From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. That prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows.
You're fine. Solomon's Soul Starbuck is fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I mean, alright. She should have said fine.
Huh?
And Athena Sykes is psyched up. Is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. Do I really have to? Alright. Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you. But Phoenix Wright is fine. Yep, that's me. That Trucy's not here to laugh at me. We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence. And have faith in us. Believe in the us that believes in you, or whatever. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too.
Thank you. Thank both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict.
Sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. Everything is not fine, though. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started, pronto. Good idea, let's go. Now look at the little alien. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this Space Center would be. Almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, do you know they even let public see their rockets up close? That sounds extremely dangerous. Oh, so check it out. Look how brightly the Gaiaxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and the rocket motif it's got going. Gaiaxa, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what is Gaia supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I have abbreviated GAXA or even Gaia? I guess so. But no one's asking you. I know, maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. But why? This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Is it? What does that feel like deja vu? Anyways, this place is more than just a research facility, it's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. The new person. Why'd I know it was gonna be an old guy? But also, that's great. Yikes, who's this geezer and what does he want? Look up upon me and look well. I hold the great power of space science. Pardon me, but you are... My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos, the director of the Cosmos Space Center. The center of the cosmos. Oh, he has two eyes. Thought it'd be another eye patch. Gives off the pirate motif. Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. Permission to groan? This person is the Space Center's director? That means... So you were the one of the first to discover the Clay's body, weren't you? And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them! Space Center Director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. By this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police? You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. Space beliefs is a completely different job. I don't want it. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate this case. Ah. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Ah, I see. Yeah, I've heard about you. In any case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. Trust you are appropriately grateful. Now go ahead, have at it. I can already tell he's gonna be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? I love his little scooter. So he has a lot of stars. His buttons are just Mario stars for sure. They have little eyes and everything. Sorry, his space scooter. It makes him travel through space. And that's technically correct. So as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defends peace across the galaxy and promotes space development in this country. No matter the obstacles standing in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel, to your break stations, prepare for a break. Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That's exactly right, because I'm an important man, my manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that, here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what makes me important specifically? Very well, I'll tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat One project. May proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it. Might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. About the bombing. Can you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for the common folk, not the director of the center of the cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I'll be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. Not sure he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmo is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Yeah, I know a few like that. Let's at least try to ask him about things he might be willing to open up about. The Hat One was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? Despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well. I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat One project. Oh, thank you very much, I guess. Hat One's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of that flight. Eventually, the Hat One reached the plane orbit. From where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey to the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat One returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat One miracle occurred, right? Correct. And it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the whole ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. They obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. What kind of samples are they? What's in them? I don't know. Space rock? Samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. And at times, this came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive, I think. Guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all. Golden age of space development. Our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. Of course, 20 years ago or so, there was a child who brought back a moon's tear, and that was pretty weird, but he gave it to a tree and we never saw it again. Public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. A moon rock, huh? I remember that being pretty big. It was massive! Our endeavors with the moon rock lives on in the world with those asteroid samples. Is a moon rock impressive? I don't know anything about space stuff. Like getting to the moon is impressive. Bringing back a rock is impressive. But like, is it interesting? It's just a rock. I don't bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission. As the man who stands in the center of the cosmos. They sell them for like 20 bucks, huh? Alright, other important question. Is it cheese? Can you put it on a sandwich? That is pretty extraordinary cheese, if so. The taste would be out of this world. Yeah, there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. Well, we're 10 years in the future. That hasn't happened. Like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. What? Bite your tongue. Not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind. And all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me the finances are tight. But I won't hear it. Actual moon rocks are not for sale. Just, you know, snake merchants telling you that they're moon rocks, but they're actually just pebbles that they found in the dirt. I'm sure there's something special about moon rocks. Maybe they can be used to refract light better? I don't know. Maybe if you pour some blood on them, we'll be able to respawn some monsters. You know, stuff like that. I guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up, for the case. Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I'm very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter! Fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage. So we were both wrong, Phoenix. Is it the Galactic Scooter, not just a space scooter. That thing is surprisingly fast. Go light speed. I guess we better get going too. You bet. Let's make it so. Make it happen. What the heck is that? An alien seahorse? Why is there just an alien over there? So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building on the right side on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from the launch pad after the explosion. Over there! No admittance without express permission. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate. Oh, sorry, nobody gets in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. You have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright's here, huh? Yeah, he's in the launch pad 1 corridor. Go and get clearance from him, then we'll talk. I'd ask if he's capable of getting really mad at someone, but I don't really want to find out. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. I'll not read into that. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So to get the Launchpad 1 corridor, we just gotta go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door. It looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Are we sure about that? Ah, that explains it. Fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. Now come on, let's go. No, before I can't examine. I really wanted to look at the seahorse. The space horse. As I thought. It's not. This is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used for their escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 to the main building. I see police tape down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. After the explosion, the whole corridor would have been filled in with smoke. The launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames, must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? And also, there's a stinking robot. We're just gonna ignore the stinking robot? It might have intelligence. Hey, I think that's him over there. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? Is it the left escalator or the right escalator? If I go up the down escalator, I may be getting in someone's way. But if I go up the right escalator, or the one that goes up, then I could get up there faster and help that old lady with her bags. Ah, what does justice say? Seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. Ah, it's you lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? You're trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me, info bandits. I'm a generous mood today. I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need that information, so let's just run with it. If you say so. Has he been replaced with a space robot? Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do? That's an easy one! I'll let them know over there. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One to buy men gives a mean neck rub. The imposter in the space station? No, that's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright either. Phoenix, have they met? Can't really think of a time they really interacted all that long. I mean, I'm sure Apollo and Athena told him all about him, but Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Think he hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. Like, that line kind of felt like it was meant for Apollo, but they just threw Phoenix in here instead. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective? Oh, that's right! I was here on security assignment. The police are required to secure rocket launches now. I didn't know that. Yes. Well, you know us. To serve and to protect. Haha! The explosion occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. Maybe not a lot of details, but okay. Can you tell us more about what happened? Of course! A bomb went off at the second floor on the main building. Boom! Over there. Right after that, the one in the launch pad 1 also blew sky high. Boom! Over there. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate the shelter. The shelter? And that's right, there's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. Down there. Boom. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite a madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion. And the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't get that way. Wasn't it impossible to get down from to the basement shelter? No, we lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable. But at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone got out to safety, I made my way down, too, and headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal. Climbing down an emergency ladder kinda sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. In just a moment, I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Professor Blackwell, or Prosecutor Blackwell. Keep calling Professor still. Wow, Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash, too. Well, never mind that. Haha! I thought you should know that there was a witness. Can you tell us more about this witness? Sure thing! The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window of the 3rd floor lounge. So, she was looking into the crime scene from outside? That's right! It was just a matter of chance that she happened to see something important. That's not what I said, but... Not that I know exactly what she saw yet, though. You don't? But that's the most important thing of all. Haha! Don't you worry! I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright, thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. Little too cooperative, even. Are you really Detective Fulbright? Yes, well, actually, Something you can't talk about? Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. Don't talk to the robot either. What was that all about? Something's definitely going on. I'm gonna get it out of him the next time I see him. Okay. I'm not sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. I still can't look at the stinking robot. Surely the robot would have seen something, right? Ah, you two. Detective Fulbright's granting you permission to investigate. Also said I should bring you some snacks or give you a net rug if you like. That's alright, but thank you for the offer. Well, better time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now let's see. Where's that diagram again? Lounge on the 3rd floor of the main building. According to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. That's a rude way to put it, but let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of the third person then. Read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's one problem, though. This room. It's just so big. Don't worry, we can use this to help us. A Space Center pamphlet for tourists? Yep. Picked up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep. Here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Never been to a space center. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? Thank you, Phoenix. Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Phew, that's a relief. Should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet, anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is so you can push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? I should look for the button while we're looking for clues. Alright, fine, let's get investigating. Finally, I can look at the space horse. That's a weird thing to have. First glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape. But then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what the surface looked like. I don't know, I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. It did make quite a bit of news, though, when the probe came back. Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet, it went to an asteroid. That's a big rock kind of thing. Even aliens can't live there. But you don't know that. Maybe they don't need to breathe air, or eat, or anything. Some pretty futuristic furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like an amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourself, it says. You spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says it's a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. Can a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? Look at the body. Maybe. This is where they discovered Clay. Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. You know, just for fun. It was stretched out like this, and... Huh? What's that thing that looks like a thermos? That's the thing that Prosecutor Blackville mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. Said that contains asteroid samples. Oh, right. Detective Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? Director, not detective. I can read. Sorry, I'm reading so fast that I usually skip over words. That they were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe that the Hat 1 launched. I wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? They look like rocks. Let's think about that after we've solved the case, okay? I expected a button to turn that off since you mentioned it, but... This is also interesting. These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session. Wonder if they can change your voice. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? It didn't do anything. It's not helium, Athena, it's oxygen. You know, the thing you're breathing to stay alive? Oh, a mirror! How thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful. So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know. When you're wearing a giant helmet. You never know when you're gonna run into another life form after all. I doubt anyone who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. Wow, so rude. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is a torture device. But I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity. Uh-oh, Athena has an odd glint in her eye. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her, but I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me. Phoenix, she is much smaller than you. If anything, she'd go for a cheap shot. Although her backhand is strong, she could probably knock you out. Hey, Mr. Wright, look at that up there. Some kind of fragment? It's stuck in tight. Oh, so that's what the glint was all about. That collar looks familiar. I think it's part of an oxygen tank. I think you're right, but if that's here... means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. Prosecutor Blackville's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. That proves that both the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Haha, way to go, Apollo. You know, now that they pointed it out, it's like, yeah, that clearly is just there, huh? Aha. A boot. What's that a boot? Another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy, I want to try it. Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do mid-air somersaults. Still on Earth, remember? Besides, just connected to the ceiling. At least I could jump really high. There's a sign on the wall very clearly that says, don't jump too high. Then what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon? Can I not point out the... Can I not point out the giant glaring footprint on there? Alright. What's this, a trapdoor? It's a trash chute. Cleaning robots throws garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. I just hope they don't revolt like they do in the science fiction movies. I don't really want to have a testimony of a robot again. No way, all the robots here are very nice. You'd know if you were allowed to talk to them. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? But you can go say hi to it if you want. Well, I want to... Okay. Every nook and cranny. Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. What's this? Looks like a metal jelly bean. It's really small, but it's a bullet. Only about 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see, that would make the caliber 10? caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Can't wait till we get to have the description of a bullet's fingerprints again. Yes, but I've never heard of a 10 caliber gun before. Bullet must be for a special kind of gun. A space gun! If you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. A finger gun. Wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left of the south door, on the south door side of the room, according to this map. That's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us just the card we need. Are we just gonna leave that there? Yes. Can I please look at the stinking footprint? Camera? Camera. Must be the security camera that'll record the astronauts making their escape. Oh, let's commemorate this occasion with a love and peace. If you're done now, shall we move on? Yeah, okay. One more for the road. Peace! Very mature. Well, she's 18, it's fine. This is the fingerprint recognition device. Guess you put your hand on this hand mark. Now you put your foot there. Why guess when you could try? Now, to the line up my hand up with the outline. Jonathan, thing is related to the case. Get your prints all over that, and the next thing you know, you'll be named a suspect. Ah, how could you be so cruel to a little girl like me? Not buying those tears, Missy. I'm too poor for that. What is this thing? I wonder what this big knob is for. Looks like a knob on a stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarity is in. He's behind a glass plane. What kind of stove would require a knob security like this? Well, the knob's straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right, if it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove? How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in. I guess we can say for now that it is a mystery knob. Do you guys know what the knob is for? I've never been to a space station, so I don't. Also, this is Fantasyland. That knob very well could be for the rocket, or to start up the dancing cactus mechanic. You know, to relax people. The door is... where's that pamphlet? Here we are. It's a door to corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. Went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? The corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. Thing beside the door must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackfield talked about it in the trial. Here I am again. The notion of a third-party Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that there are precious few with that clearance to do so. Does that mean the bomber's prints were verified by the system? Number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. Viola! Fingerprint powder! I brought it just in case something like this came up. They're out the office. Been just itching for a chance to use it. Hey, wait a second, that's mine! Wow, way to think ahead! Although I'm pretty sure that's mine. Now let's dust the fingerprint recognition device and see what we can find. You got it! Now to sprinkle some here and a little over here, and... whoop! I don't have to press the blow button, do I? I don't have one. Okay, no. Let's see what we have here. We got something. Oh, it's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure we should figure out whose prints these are. Although I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints on the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right. Security footage of this door, too. Yeah, here it is. Came up to court the other day. Wish we could have seen the part of the footage just after this bit. We don't have that as a picture. How are we watching it right now? Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's ask the detective. With the mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away. Yeah, he's in almost too good of a mood today. Let's see if we can find him again once we're done with this room. Are we done with this room? No. Sorry. What am I missing? Oh, the other door. Looks like there are 3 doors and that lead in out of this room. Well, let's check. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! Space Center pamphlet. We're here at the place that says Boarding Lounge 1. Here are 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually say West, East, and South in a case like this, you know? Details, details. Anyways, let's look at the West door. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here that it goes to Launchpad 1. That's where we were with the detective, as we've said like 10 times now. Can I repeat myself one more time? Filled with smoke after the explosion. Right. Next up is the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. That's the door with satellite dish icons signify communication, aka the control room. Yep, definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side. They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. So it's the center of the Space Center. The Space Center, if you will. Does everyone start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here a while? I haven't been here that long. Seems like they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission. The control room was empty at the time. I've always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, and since we're here, I'd love to do that too, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go through. Which means he's the culprit. That much security? I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena. So apparently the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies. Okay, what about that last door? This lower door, oh, excuse me, I mean south door. It leads to the elevators. There's the door we came through when we entered the room, right? Uh-huh, good memory. And of course there was no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone. But the elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion. Well, that's about it for the 3 musketeers of the boarding lounge. Thanks. I hope they don't put their swords together. Understanding the layout of this lounge should help us understand the case. So I thought we better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. What am I missing? The window? A window. And it's right next to the holographic image, too. Kind of ruins the image. But it's there to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off it says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire. See, it's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality, where everything burns and dies. Uh-huh. What am I missing? I mean, there is this random circle in the ground, but apparently it's not important. That's what I'm missing. Some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it here. Just push it! That's the invariable principle of buttons. There are such things as buttons left unpushed, but I have no self-control. Hey, the giant holographic image disappeared. Yeah, I thought that side of the wall seemed kind of barren without it now. Though it seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can find anything new with the image off. Holographic image off, the screen's completely black. Which for some reason, makes me think of losing an argument to a prosecutor Blackwell in court. But at least it's got my brain revved up. Again, Phoenix, you haven't done that. Come with my best ideas at times like these. Hmm. Well, that's important. Seems a spider has set its home up here in virtual reality. Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this. Looking like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired this shot must have been using a pretty large gun. You think so? Based on my experience, I'd say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, someone fired a gun here, right? Apparently. This is an important fact. Do you see a bullet anywhere? No, the police might have taken it, though. Bullet hole added to the court record. Where would the bullet hole go? Let's ask Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later. Later being right now! Welcome to the Space Center, guests. Welcome. What? Yikes! What in the world? A robot? My name is Ponko. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Is this your favorite character, Sivia? Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. It's a robot? I am not a robot. I am Ponko. Psychological observation and navigation companion. Ponko. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Oh, Ponko, I've missed you. Huh? Do you know this thing, Athena? Oh, she, showed us around the last time we came, when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Ponko. That's a good girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. So very happy. Wow, a guide robot. That's pretty cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Huh? Ouch. That hurt. Did it hurt? Not a lot of people do know you. Oh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest presentation. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too. His name is Phoenix. Bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. Registering. Facial recognition sequence complete. You look better without a beard. We are now officially friends! Nice to meet you, Phoenix. Huh. This robot is pretty cute. You made a friend, boss! Isn't that great? Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. Oh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where? Space Museum. Why are there aliens shooting at them? Oh wow, what is this place? Is that rocket real? Welcome, welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7 PM. Learn about the history of our nation's space development and the Hat 1 project. The rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. The Space Museum? Oh, here it is on the map. Okay, so it's the exact opposite side of the main building from Launchpad 1. How convenient. Ask me anything, I will explain. Hat 1. Quite the place. I can't believe we get to see a rocket this close up. Yes, it's on the opposite side of the building. It has the same shape as a rocket. But it's Launchpad 2. Is a replica of the Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. Exactly like the real Hat 1, inside and out. Except, you know, most of it is plastic. Its little brother, the Hat 2, was supposed to launch the other day, but it burned in eternal flame. Hat 1 is grieving. Wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out, check it out. Spacesuits, photos, newspaper articles. I'd like to come here again on a day off. Hey, what's this a photo of? Why is Ponko sporting a headband? Also, Clay was there? One of those other two is going to be the witness. I'm gonna say it's the one with the pointy hair. Phoenix, that is the staff of the Hat 1 project. Oh, there's Mr. Starbuck. He looks so young. So different. Ah, and that's... What is it, Athena? Something wrong? Oh, nothing. Nothing. I just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young too, that's all. Well, it was 7 years ago after all. The young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck is Clay Taryn, the victim. So they were mentor and protege even back then. Even got the staff jackets. He looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everyone looks so happy, except the old man. The Space Museum is great! What fantastic exhibits! Thank you, I built them myself. This area used to be Launchpad 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of budget cuts. Budget cuts! Budget cuts! We need more money! Otherwise Ponko will be dehydrated. Who would record that kind of information into a guide robot? While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched the probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from the asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmos said too. Told us to come back the day before Clay was killed. It came back. And here it is, the Hope space probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. Let's see. Oh yeah, the capsule that Victim was carrying. I think it had the same logo. I think I could be seeing the photo attached to the autopsy report. Maybe she'll give me some more info if I show it to her. The way the Space Center launchpad is set up is really cool. Would you like to tell you about it? Would you? The setup of the launchpad? Go gentle on my spiky-haired mind. Your mind has spikes too? I wanna know. Phoenix wants to know too. Great. Now Athena's got a case of Ponkoitis. Hooray! I will tell you then. The rocket built inside the launchpad structure. When the rocket is complete, it's moved along with the launch pad over the rails. And brought into position at the launch site. Isn't it cool? Isn't it? We used to have a big budget. That's how we could build it all. It's very cool. A grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. I guess if everyone's hoping for a bigger budget next year. I guess everyone's hoping for a bigger budget next year, myself included. Wow, isn't that relatable? One day. I'm guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is, but it can also be operated from the new command center too. Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to first be disengaged. Guess before a big move like that it could be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I would love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold. Because of the bombing and the murder, I'll bet. And probably budget cuts. Which is perfectly understandable, for once. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching data. Yesterday. I'm sorry, that answer isn't in my answer database. Guess Ponko can only answer certain questions. Ponko, do you recognize the capsule here in the top right? Checking registered data. I know. It's the Hope capsule. It was carried inside the Hope probe. Contained the asteroid samples, right? Yes, it was designed to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. Are we gonna have Ponko testify? It's been stored in the safe in Launchpad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. It must not be removed! It must not be removed! Don't worry, Ponko. The people in charge already know what happened. They do? They do. I must ask them later. Capsule was being kept in Launchpad 1, huh? Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. The Space Center staff must have been really excited to get the capsule back. But it's a pity this incident occurred before they got the chance to check the contents. Well, the police took it as evidence, so they'll have to wait a little bit longer. That is a shame. Ow. Well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Ponko. You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. Hard to believe you just met recently. Cause Ponko is so friendly. Well, what should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have things to ask him about. Let's see. Security footage and the fingerprint data, was it? Okay, then let's go back to Launchpad 1 corridor. Bye, Ponko. See you later. Come again. Come again. And don't forget to visit the gift shop. Poor Ponko. What? I don't know what that word means, but what a life we are all forced to lead. Alright, let's go home. Go here? No. He's in Launchpad 1. Does the other robot have a name? Sweetbot? What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? There's Detective Fulbright. He still seems to be lost, even though it's a straight corridor. Let's hope he's still in cooperative mood as well, then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress bit? We found a bullet hole in the wall at the crime scene. You did! Our team found that too! It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm? Well, that's right! A warning shot for the defendant! Was it really such a high-threat situation that she needed to do that? I'm afraid I don't know the details, what with Detective Arm gone and all. You know, being dead. But I thought there were two people who discovered the crime scene together. We already know Director Cosmos will testify. So tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart. That's exactly what we're planning to serve as the main course. I hope it goes down easy. I want to take stomach medicine. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found at the boarding lounge. Ah, yes. I just happen to have a completed print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackwell said to dig deep, so that's what I did. It sure took a while, though. Well, we got Apollo and my prints. We even got prints for all the robots. The robots have fingerprints? Why? Are Ponko's prints just in the shape of a P? I guess when Blackwell said to dig deep, Fulbright didn't bother to ask how deep. Don't let him dig any holes. Clay's fingerprints are on here too. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to give his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. I still can't believe you took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important to this case. There are a lot of doors that require fingerprint verification in the lounge. So depending on who prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense. After all, the culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprint lock somehow. Oh, and take this picture. Might come in handy. Isn't this just a photo of Launchpad 1 door? Yep, but Prosecutor Blackwell seemed really interested in it for some reason. Huh? What's so important about this door? Beats me, but boy, you can see the gears in his head go hyperdrive at it. Sounds like it's gonna be a major point in contentions tomorrow. Hey, don't forget about the print comparison, boss. Right, Detective Fulbright, do you think you could run the test for us right now? You just leave it to me, and justice we trust. Okay, here we go. Looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. They must have opened it when they went to get to board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for his space adventure right then. Unlike Clay's, which was full of steel. Hmm. Something for the lost and found. I'll be sure to take care of it. Okay. Can't show him either of those, huh? I figured maybe he'd know something about a gun that could fire that. Did I forget something? They didn't give me the usual spiel about, oh, you've done everything here, so leave! I appreciate that the attorney badge thing does change based on who you're playing as. What did I miss? Oh. What the heck? That shouldn't even be there. I disabled that extension. Well, thanks for contributing to the cult totem that doesn't do anything right now, Jack, but hello. Hope you're having a good day. In a game called Cult of the Lamb, it has a Twitch extension. People can power a totem with Twitch points. Or channel points or whatever. And that gets me stuff in-game. But I uninstalled that because we haven't been playing it. So I don't know why it's still there. Ugh. But either way, thanks. I doubt it did anything. Victim went all that trouble just to save the defendant. And then he was mercilessly killed. Is there no justice in this world? Justice was trampled underfoot that day. Oh, that's right. You're right. Acts of justice and selflessness are always rewarded. It pains me to say, but I've come to realize the truth and that recently. Sounds like he and his personal philosophy are going through a midlife crisis. Oh yeah, I forgot the most important thing. This is an important piece of evidence. My badge. Athena, what do you think about my badge? My badge is starting to look pretty good on me, don't you think? It suits you well. I'm starting to feel like it gives me more dignity and presence, too. I've never felt that way. I think you might be expecting a little too much from one tiny little badge. It doesn't even get you a free cup of coffee unless it's one upside your head. What do we do? Athena Sykes is fine. Huh? What was that all about? I thought I'd better get fired up twice as much to make up for Apollo being gone. Sorry, I thought I'd imitate him. You're doing a voice workout, huh? Yep, you have to push your voice up from the pit of your stomach. I don't know how to do that. Hold it! There's a contradiction in the witness statement. You're really serious about this. Objection! You are lying. The true culprit is the judge. What? Then who's gonna hand down the verdict? I didn't think of that. I think we should do next. What is it, Athena? I just remembered I forgot to go running today. Just taken up with what happened to Apollo has slipped my mind. That wasn't what I was asking. Alright, so Athena is pretty useless at the moment. Honko. It's something I have to present to this guy, but I don't really know what it is. You came at the weird time where I don't know what I'm doing. Detective, about the security footage that was taken by Boarding Lounge 1 camera. Oh, that footage! Go ahead and ask me anything you'd like about it. Anyway, I could see a little more of the parts after this. Ah yes, I do remember him mentioning that. Easy as pie, I'd be glad to show you. Here we go! Huh? The screen went black. Yep, apparently the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So there's no footage after this point. Haha, isn't that convenient? Why didn't you just say so from the beginning? Something definitely seems to be up with you, Detective. You're unusually cooperative. Well, I just figure if we work together, we'll get that much closer to justice, right? That seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have the some ulterior motive, do you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything like that. Ah, yes. Phoenix's power. Those locks don't look right. They look like a little blurry, don't they? So we tossed Apollo to the curb and got Phoenix's Cyclops. Been a while, but those are definitely Cyclops. This is a little techno music. Do you use mouth psyched? Is there something that I should be psyched about? No, Cyclops. Since it'll unlock the secrets on a... Wait, why are you explaining this to him? No, it's Cyclops. It's a system of locks and the secrets in a person's heart. I can see when people are trying to hide those secrets by using the power of this Magatama. What in the world are you talking about? Miss Athena, should I call a doctor? Well, I can understand needing an explanation for the person playing, but... explaining it to the person that is clearly hiding something seems a little silly. Thankfully it's Fulbright. Any evidence can break those locks and reveal any secrets they're hiding. Mr. Wright, how much did they bilk you for out for that piece of rock? If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. I am a lawyer. I'm more than capable of representing myself, thank you very much. In fact, I have on multiple occasions. It isn't some kind of fraud, it really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you! Use the Magatama by touching X. Take that! Forgot he still sounds so young. I think you're hiding something, Detective, so why don't you just tell us about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Detective Fulbright's really in agony. But the issue here is he's so torn up over is... love. I really understand what's been bothering you, Detective. I truly do. Something happened that goes against your principles, isn't that right? No! I don't know what you're talking about! Until the explosions occurred, everything was just fine. Is that a fact? Yep, peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone was whistling a happy tune as they did their job. That sounds agonizing. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail for the routine rocket launch. I don't think the guard detail is as relaxed as you claim, as long as this exists. Nah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's the murder, but... Does it want the note or the bombs? Well, I mean, I don't lose anything by being wrong. Except for the respect from chat, right? I don't remember. Wait, can I look at the thing? Aha. So it's something that was going on before the explosions happened, right? So, was it the Hope Capsule? You aren't presenting that means evidence, are you? Making fun of me? Just as I said, until the explosion occurred, everything was just fine. Then I don't know. I'm sorry, I've disappointed all of you. Thought of something, but it's probably going to be wrong, so I'm not going to say it. I don't remember what was happening before then, though. It was just that, but that was... I mean, yeah, but that was the explosion thing. I should have just went with my gut. As usual, my second guesses are wrong. Now, before the explosion, what was supposed to happen here was the rocket launch. And yet security was so tight they even brought in a special task force. I'll describe that as relaxed guard detail. Duh! Now hold on just a minute. A moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. And that's why I was called in on a special security detail. As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that's true. It's very strange that this person would be part of the detail from the outset. And she was specifically for bombs. Detective Arm specialized in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew there was a possibility the bombing would occur. Ah, you got me, Mr. Wright! Unlock successful. I wonder if Taka will attack us for using the Magatama. Will he steal it? Alright, I concede. You win! It's just as you say. A few days before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing. But the plan to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. But why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed? Yeah, I know. The decision to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it? It was just wrong. How was the warning delivered? By phone and directly to Director Cosmos. But the police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. That's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you were so upset.
But it's just not only that. I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackwell as well. Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you have a lot of difficulties. That's not it. It's a question of justice. I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court. You've been wondering about that. Everyone's been wondering about that since he showed up. The reason he's still prosecuting? Detective Fulbright, please tell us everything you know. Oh, if I have to. Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules. Never mind that, what are rules about things to be broken, right? That's not really justice, but to tell you the truth, having a prisoner as act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. Yeah, I think we guessed that much. So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering and wondering and wondering about it. So you weren't told why either, huh? No, I guess the order came from pretty high up the ladder. Yeah, I would have had to. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still. 7 years past? A Phantom, huh? And not one of the friendly variety either, I gather. I think you only know one friendly Phantom, Phoenix. This Phantom for 7 years past, any idea who or what he was talking about? Not a clue, but he seems to think that this Phantom is behind this whole incident somehow. Wait a minute, thinks they may be connected to this case? Yep, this case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, that case happened right here at this very Space Center too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. That's why Prosecutor Blackwell thinks this incident is the work of the Phantom? Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago. That's when Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty of murder. That messy case was started the whole dark age of the law. I thought that was Phoenix's case. So you see how this Phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell's conviction might be related. Yeah, I can see why he'd think that. This incident in the Phantom. Not to mention Blackwell's past. Almost inconceivable they would come to head here. This might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackwell can't possibly believe Mr. Starbuck is this Phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all. Prosecution appears to be ready as well. Silence. Not yet. Not quite ready yet. No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbuck is this Phantom. But I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to them. Which is why he's acting so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. He hates coffee, and that's not real justice. I've always trusted in Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now, even though he's been wrong at least twice. But this time, I'm just so overwrought about it all. If he's lost his ability to think rationally, I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction, which he's already done twice. Never seen Detective Fulbright so tormented, mostly because we haven't met before. Must be why he's so cooperative. Don't worry, it's exactly what we defense lawyers are working to prevent. I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time. But don't tell him that. He'll get jealous. You have to promise me you won't. Detective Fulbright, guess I was wrong about you, even though we've barely spoken to each other. I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. Which probably won't happen as long as he keeps cutting people. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. You are the only ones who can stop him in court. But I can just shock him. Really care and want what's best for Prosecutor Blackwell, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. Not like we want a guilty verdict either. I was hoping you would say that. I'm really grateful to the two of you. To show my thanks, I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a little while ago. Really? Let's go find her, Mr. Wright. Thanks, you two. I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. In justice we trust on 3. 1, 2, 3. In justice we trust. Okay, Lid. In justice we trust. There he goes. Hey, were we supposed to say in justice we trust back there too? Let's go see that witness now. Don't worry about that other thing. Alright, Space Center entrance it is. Ow. Witness must be around here somewhere. Hmm? Hello, hello. Uh-oh. Don't tell me the witness is a robot. Hello, come over here. Hello, hello. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you... I am Clonko. Shall I guide you? Guide you. I don't know why, but this robot is kind of freaking me out. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. Oh, it's her. I knew it. It was the spikes. Again. I've had it with you, hunk of junk. Gah. I'm outside. Am I wandering? When did that happen? Okay, welcome back, hunk of junk. You don't know how close you came. If you didn't step out, I was gonna put you on the curb of the trash today. Nothing works better than a 42.5 degree karate chop. That's pretty specific. Excuse me, but are you the one who witnessed the murder? Oh, and I'm Phoenix Wright, the lead attorney in this case. How do you do? Always so polite, Phoenix. Big shot lawyers, huh? I'm Aura Blackwill. Not what I was expecting. I'm a researcher developing robots here at the Cosmos Space Center. Blackwill? Could she be... And this good-for-nothing robot is named Hunk of Junk. My name isn't Hunk of Junk. My name is Clonko. That's me, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Punko number 2. Gah, but Miss Aura, everyone calls me Clonko. Quit your squawking already. No, what are you doing? No, my brains. I've forgotten my childhood. There. Bet you won't be talking back now. Gah, I will obey completely. Yikes, better watch what wires I cross with this one. Your last name is Blackwill. Do you have a relative in the legal profession? You are correct. Simon Blackwill, who used to be a prosecutor, is... Shut up. Only speak when I order you to speak. Simon is my little brother. You know him? Yes, we met him in court a few times. Right, Athena? No. Not right, Athena. Phoenix, you never actually talked to him. As far as I'm aware. What a dull creature. Has her switch been turned off? Athena being shy? This is new. Oh yeah, I heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison, right? Hey, what do you think, hunk of junk? Ah, Miss Aura, that hurts. I'm asking you a question, why don't you answer me, useless hunk of junk? Miss Aura, you told me to only speak when you ordered me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more as scrap. Robot abuse, hawk attacks, Blackwill family, life must sure be interesting. Well, do you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. Not like I'm on Simon's side or anything. I just want to get this over with. Okay. Stop abusing the robot, please. So, you're the person who witnessed the incident. That's right. I was on the 4th floor of the main building. In the robotics lab. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to.
But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Must have been a very troubling experience. Probably best to just humor her here. Then, as I passed by the 3rd floor boarding lounge 1 window on my way down, I saw the crime as it happened. And that's about it. So you either saw the crime as it happened, and that's about it. I see. Wait, what? You saw it being committed? No time to just nod and repeat. When is it ever? So you saw into the 3rd floor lounge. The very scene of the crime. That's right. There's a small window on the right-hand side of the room. I looked through that from the outside. The room was pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter in the left hand. And a knife in the right. That must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. I just literally said it was pitch black. The power was out on that floor then, and there was only that tiny window. I see. But you did witness the moment of the murder. Yes, I saw the figure with the lighter raise their knife, and... kaboom! It happened precisely at 10 a.m. You witnessed anything else? Did the killer have any distinguishing features? I already told you, it was pitch black in there. Although, did you notice that the lighter the person had in their left hand had a pretty ornament on it? Looked like a planet. It was blue, like the little Earth emblem. They had a good taste in knickknacks, anyway. An Earth emblem on the lighter, I better remember that. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbuck's innocent with it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, right. I won't hold my breath. Pardon me? Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. I just detest lawyers, that's all. What do you like about lawyers? Is it my hair? Is it because it's spikier than yours? It's just an instinctive dislike. But don't feel bad. I hate prosecutors even more. That didn't make me feel any better, actually. Dramatic music. Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past, not important. The whole legal system is meaningless in the first place. I certainly don't agree. I mean, people are imperfect. They lie, they're influenced by silly emotions, they interrogate ghosts and parrots and whatnot. Can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better, even sad sacks like this one. That lie and don't listen to me. Hey you, look alive there! I'm dead. Yes, here I go. I am the ultimate robot with amazing I can operate a vacuum and extreme heat under pressure. We robots really roll down time to ow. Alright, that's enough out of you. You're getting a little too carried away. What was I doing? Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want them. Unlike humans with their petty emotions and constant worries. How can you say such things? Feeling emotions, worrying about the things we care about? That's what makes us human. Well, the girl finally talks. She starts with a speech. That's what makes us human. You mean getting all angry and snorting like that? Rational thought, that's what separates humans from animals. Unfortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. That's not a thing to be ashamed of. Must be nice to have such a simple mind. Can I punch her, boss? Get a hold of yourself, Athena. I don't want to go to court for that. Humans certainly are absurd. Said you were clever, didn't I? Poor thing. Tell me, with people like you in charge, how can I possibly trust the legal system, So she just trusts not only lawyers and prosecutors, but the whole legal system. I can't really blame her. What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? Even if someone important to me was killed, I would never wish to see their killer brought to trial. 'Cause I'd much rather kill them myself. Can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. Oh, this? Around Athena's neck? Does she mean widget? Oh, I get it. Well, Her Royal Highness has returned at last to her castle. The royal what? Talking about Athena. By the way, I heard the rumors. Our director's going to be a star witness in court tomorrow, right? Director Cosmos? Yes, that's right.
You poor things, you'd better be careful. That old man is a big liar and a huge braggart. What? Might seem like a bigwig, but the sinner has all kinds of problems. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet, his space closet, but it's your problem, so why should I care? What? That's it? No friendly tips? No good luck, guys? Just splendid. I'll leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk of junk. Sad to me she doesn't believe in our legal system anymore. Must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. You alright, Athena? Seem very down. Just can't believe she said all those things. Wow, she's really upset. Has she been trying to not let it show all this time? Well, I guess it's not all that surprising. Hear about fabricated evidence and false indictments on the news all the time. You mean that whole Dark Age of the law nonsense? Pfft, I'm so sick of hearing about that. You know, the ends justify the means, bleh. Well, all we can do is believe what we're doing. Yeah, you're right, boss, I agree. Maybe it's time we went back to see Mr. Starbuck. Good idea, we should tell him about the bullet and Miss Blackwell's statement. Alright then, next stop, the detention center. I pressed up and set it out, because I'm smart. Wasn't looking forward to doing this voice again. My lawyers are here. Must be bad news. Hey, not necessarily. Found a new witness. Researchers saw the moment of the murder through the lounge window during her escape. Really? They're gonna let me go? Unfortunately, it was dark and she couldn't identify the person. I should have known. My stars never aligned just right. But we got a lead too, Mr. Starbuck. The murderer had a lighter with an Earth emblem on it. A lighter with an Earth emblem on it? Oh! Did you remember something? Yep, I sure did. Just a little bit, though. Anything at all would be a help. So please tell us what you remembered after we ask you to do that. I thought I was unconscious the whole time. But now I remember I woke up for a few brief moments. That's huge. Do you remember seeing anything? A lighter. Saw the flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good, good. What else did you see? What was nearby? It was definitely the boarding lounge, so it must have been after Clay carried me there. In the light of the flame, I saw a dark shadow flickering. A dark shadow? That must have been the third party we've been looking for. And the lighter alone proves that there was a third party, because she saw someone's face. At least in that picture. Not any clear details, but he was wearing a helmet. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more than help you than you know. You can prove there was a third person at the scene and that they're the real killer. And you'll be cleared of all suspicion. Key to be whether or not we can identify this third person in court tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now, and that's a big plus. We'll probably tidy the evidence up a bit for if someone mistakes me for a hoarder. Irrelevant evidence tidied up. What the heck was irrelevant evidence? The evacuation papers are gone, and it feels like something else is gone, but I don't remember what it is. Now that we have a glimmer of hope, I'm suddenly starving. Why don't we go back to the office and treat ourselves to a big celebration in advance? Oh, can I come? No. Someone who's highly empathetic, you can be surprisingly unsympathetic. So you found your strategies for tomorrow's trial, huh? Good for you. Well, it's one step forward anyway, and 2 steps back. Hopefully it'll give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we can find out who this third person is. Now let's get something to eat. Maybe the spaghetti. I'm starving. My vote is Eldon's Noodles. Oh! Apollo! Hey guys, I'm back. What are you doing here? I didn't think the clinic
was ready to release you yet. And my wounds are fine. I'm fine. And I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Leave the case to us. We'll take it from here. Thanks, but that's not an option. Not for me. Apollo. Shouldn't underestimate your injuries, Apollo, and I don't want you overdoing it. I'm fine, not in pain anymore, except in here. Besides, they just gave me an IV at the clinic. IV isn't a cure-all, mummy man. Anyways, tell me how the case is going. Have you guys made any progress? A suspicious figure is spotted at the scene. We think they must be the real killer. Suspicious figure, huh? Right. I thought you'd be happier than that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. I fully intend to see Clay's murderer apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Clay was your best friend, right? Even though he never came up, right? That's right. Best friends since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie. What was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy, and a really loud voice. If the two of you did voice training together now, I bet you'd break a few windows. We did! You know, I bet you're right. Seems like only yesterday, but it wasn't. Clay was a guy who lived for his dreams. It was 2 days ago. He used to talk about that a lot. He was gonna be an astronaut and me a lawyer. We talked well into the night, and even then, we never grow tired of it. Apollo, about that jacket. Is there a cut for that? No, it's Clay's. I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat Project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for the Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. But just when his dream was finally coming true, I still can't believe it. Dang it, it's not fair! Double gasp. Apollo. Hope you don't try to carry the burden all alone. I guess we're both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. Guess you're right on some level. A trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly smoothest of starts. That was a rough time for me, but Clay refused to let me quit. You're fine, he'd say. Don't give up. It was right during his screening exams, too. Couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. That you're fine of his is why I'm still standing here today. You're fine, huh? You're fine and I'm fine were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories of yesterday. We were in junior high, Clay's mom passed away in an accident. Just to add more trauma to this. But he wouldn't show his sadness to anyone. One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Anime? No.
Mom, get away, Apollo. Don't come over here.
Clay, listen to me. I don't have a mother, either. Never did.
Huh?
Aw, look at little Apollo. I always think everyone else has a mom. Why am I the only one? But, you know, when I start to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler, I'm fine! And then you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. Apollo Justice is fine! Okay, Clay, now it's your turn.
Okay. Apollo Justice is fine. I mean, Clay Turner is fine.
There you go, now we're both fine.
We're fine. We're fine. Haha.
What are you laughing about? See? We're fine.
You laugh first. Haha. I'm fine. You're fine. We're both fine. Everyone's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. We're all fine. Thanks, Apollo.
Yeah, when you say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. As long as you don't give up, you can keep fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up. Wasn't there someone else who said something similar?
Yeah, if I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight.
Blake called Mr. Starbuck his mentor and looked up to him. I wonder if I can be a good role model for my staff like Mr. Starbuck. Sure hope he doesn't quit. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What? Wait, what do you mean by a leave? You're really serious. Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal too. I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth, huh? That's a noble cause. What if the truth you seek and the truth I seek turn out to be different? I'm not sure I follow. What are you saying, Apollo? I want to catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life in my own way. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Now I must be going. Goodbye. Goodbye? Did you say goodbye? He didn't even take a cookie. I sense a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him. And also, suspicion. He's not walking out on us like this. I'm gonna talk some sense into him. Hold on, Athena. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. If we take a different path, the truth we arrive at should be the same. I think the quicker we solve this case, the better it'll be for Apollo. Yeah, you're right, boss. Alright, that's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial, okay? Let's go get some noodles. Hey, Apollo, you wanna get some noodles? I mean, I know you left dramatically, but you're probably still hungry, right? If you were here right now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. To be continued. Well, we did it. Who do you think the murderer was? Is it the only other character we've seen that doesn't have an alibi? Probably. Now. Well, I will look forward to how the Black Quills interact with each other. Maybe Aura will have some silly stories of Simon. But that'll be where we call it for today. Because it's been 3 hours, and that's basically it. It's a good stopping point. So thanks a lot for watching. I don't know if I'll be back for more Zelda or anything, but I hope you all enjoyed our silly voiceovers for this silly game. Like, I have suspicions on what happened, but I don't want to say them because sometimes they're wrong, and sometimes they're right. Both are embarrassing. Such as when I say something and then Phoenix says it right after. But anywho, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you later. So, boy for now. And remember that Sivia is a nerd. Yeah, not too much.